You kind of described like the cliche of the high school sweetheart, although it's not really a cliche anymore as much as it's like an extreme rarity.
It is.
When I think when most people or most anywhere people hear that you married your high school sweetheart, do you get the sense well, I'll just ask it more directly. Were you ever at a point when you were like, oh man, I may be making a horrible mistake. Maybe there's so much more out there for me. What if it's, this guy that I started dating, but there's something else? And not to denigrate your relationship, but like it has to have crossed your mind.
I think I would say not ever to the point of like, am I in the wrong relationship? Am I in the wrong spot in my life in the time? I'm sure that probably it may have at some point when I was super stressed out and wondering what's going on. But I would say it's more the reality that I second guessed like what job I was going to take, what path, what to get back to the farm. Like, did I want to still live? I did sign language in college and I loved it. I absolutely loved sign language, American Sign Language. And I almost changed my major, but then I really had to reevaluate, like, is that a job that would be something that I could do in my hometown? No, I'm an hour from anywhere. And so that was something that I really had to battle with. So I went ahead and got my teaching degree, knowing that it really probably wasn't what I wanted to do. I wouldn't say relationship wise that I ever felt that way. Jordan and I have been this really interesting couple our entire life, and we grew up together. I mean, we know each other from infancy almost. I mean, adolescence is basically, but when you get older, when you're in your teens, it is infancy because you are babies and you don't really know what life is like. But I don't think so. I do think people look at you and go, oh, high school sweethearts. Like, it is definitely a rarity that they get married and that they stay together. I think a lot of times high school sweethearts do travel down this path of, this is what we know. We are not going to take any risks or any chances on anything else because this is comfortable. And then that's why a lot of high school sweethearts do actually end up in divorce. We have friends that got married and that we all got married within a year. We were all high school sweethearts. There's 4 couples. We all, starting from July till July of the following year, we were in each other's weddings. And one of those couples, sadly, after having 2 small children, they just didn't make it. They weren't in love anymore. Were they really in love when they got married? I don't know. I'm lucky that we're not like that Jordan and I have grown together as a couple, but also as a business owners. And I think that definitely adds a different layer of dynamic to our relationship, because we have to be professional and make really big life decisions for our family, but also for our business. Like, those decisions affect us together, but it just adds a different layer, a different dynamic to what we do. And I think that's probably one of the reasons why we're so successful as a couple.
It is like the rare couple that can do business together, because you have to be able to shift the way in which you interact with the other person in a format that isn't normally taught to couples. My wife actually does my books, and one of the things that we first had to get over was, I was like, when we first started to sit down, being like, don't judge my purchases. Like, I'm running this business and I don't need any judgments. And she never did. And she actually became a far better bookkeeper than anybody else I'd ever worked with, because she'd be like, okay, just show me the receipt. Where is the receipt for this? I don't care what it is. I just want all of the bookkeeping to work. But if she wasn't like that, if she decided that she was going to dig around and start making other decisions, that would be a very, very different relationship.
Well, Jordan likes to buy tractors, and those are big ticket items. So I do give him a little bit of a hard time when he comes home with new John Deere paperwork, but that's exactly it. There's things that are no brainers for a business. And so Jordan runs the operating side of the business. He's out there day to day, putting his boots to the ground and, keeping everybody in order. I would say we have a rather sizable farming operation. We have about 7 employees on farm between the hogs and the row crop that come to work every day. They report to Jordan or to my father-in-law, and we run that business. They're with us all year round, full-time employees. We have about 30 other employees at our sow units that report to managers on those facilities that still kind of fall under our wing. And so Jordan is that person. He is the one, like, they're not going to call me if something breaks down. Like, we have water lines frozen right now. I'm not that person, but they're going to call me if they have questions about their health insurance or these other things. So as a couple, we have different dynamics. And as a business owner, we definitely try to stay in our own lane. So if Jordan has to get new tires, he doesn't call me and ask me those questions. He just does it. And he knows that's going to be my answer. Do we need it to make the business work? I trust your opinion. Go do it. I'm not going to, if it's a $500,000 combine, sure. Yeah. We're going to talk about it and make sure that that's in the cards and that's in our budget. But if it's, $700 or $800 worth of tires or something, we're not going to battle over that. We just don't question things like that. So I think the idea of staying in our own lane as a business owner, and then that helps us just to be more relaxed and open as a couple. I don't know. It just works.
Thanks for checking out this podcast short. If you like this interview, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button and hit that bell so you always get notified about this podcast. And if you're really interested in conversations like this, you may want to consider joining the Articulate Ventures Network. To find out more, go to network.articulate.ventures.